Dear friends, Uncle Letty here, wishing you a beautiful Monday. What a wonderful way to start the week. Everybody stand up and rejoice. Stand up and rejoice. We had this one nun one time we were kids who made us kind of, and it kind of worked. We sat down and we're So everybody do like this mentally. Everybody rejoice. Stop listening to the BS. Listen, join Uncle Lenny. We're gonna have fun today. This is a good reason. It's a good reason to be rejoice. Come on, my friends. 7 days, 15 hours. Well, 8 days. Look. Stop doing this thing about music. What if what if we lose? Stop it. Stop it. Everybody just kind of relax. Take it easy. It's incredible. Don't listen to people. Everybody today. I love the way these rat bastards are trying to break down Trump's look, in no particular order. Let's just get into it. First, I want you to remember something, and I said it yesterday, and I'm going to say it again. Woodstock, 1969, was catastrophe after catastrophe. People dying. No sewage or sewerage. Richie Havens was playing Freedom for like 9 hours. He was strumming Freedom. There were no bathrooms. They ran out of food. They tore the people. Some people, not everybody could see, and this and that. There was crime and death, and it was a catastrophe, and the people hated it, and whatever. But yet they say it was the greatest. 500,000 people, music. The day the music had changed. Music. But for those people who were there, it was horrible. They stopped. Remember up to Socrates or wherever the hell it was, or Bethel. They didn't know what the hell it was. It wasn't Woodstock. It was Sidney Oscar's farm was over here, over there. Anyway, they stopped the traffic. They walked like 20 miles, people dying. You don't think there was crime? You don't think there was a sexual battery, mayhem? Yes, but in response, they didn't look back and say, "Wow, that was just oh my God, it was." No, but they're going to talk about this comic. By the way, whoever hired this comic, whatever his name, I don't even know who he is, should be fired. But who cares? We're talking about it. So what? Robert De Niro gets on the TV, or listen to me on the TV. Uncle Lenny, what year is it? I don't know, Tad. I say these things on the TV, the newspapers. Hey, did you get that new album? I don't know. Robert De Niro, F this, you're a F and F. Oh, that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. That's De Niro. Okay. Yeah, I don't care what De Niro says. You know what? Bring the comic back. And if he wants to make jokes about Puerto Rico, I wouldn't advise it. But so what? We don't care. Did you like it? Yeah, if you like it, we're afraid. If Politico likes something, I'm afraid. I'm afraid. Do you understand something? I'm afraid. You have to just relax. I love you. I love you, folks. Some of the stuff you say is just ridiculous. I love you to death. Some of you spew this. I don't even know what you're saying. I love you. Please, if you get a chance, if you're listening to this, maybe in your car or something, go back and read the comments because we do this live. There are people, I love them. I don't know what they're saying. I don't even know what planet they're on. People are just, they say stuff. Okay. Andy No has a woman yelling fascism, screaming that they're fascists. And I would say, do me a favor, Mrs. Yes, I'll make a deal with you. I will tell all these people to go. I will shut down the entire Trump rally. I will make one call and tell Jim Dolan to shut down the garden right now. If you can give me basic ABCDarian explication, definition of what fascism is, referring to Gentile, or even if you want to go into, Mussolini, that's okay. But if you can tell me what fascisti speak of, we will shut this down. When somebody says, "You're an N-word," can you define that? Yes. Well, you're a and then pick the pejorative. You're a if somebody says you're even a Nazi, people say, "Well, you're a National Socialist, Hitlerian." Okay. You're a they don't say anarchist, but most of the time you're full of S. Can you define that? Well, yes, I can, as a matter of fact. It means that you are, obviously unable to be trusted by virtue of what you say because you are team extra, okay. But the word fascist somehow slipped through, nobody even knows what it is. Anarcho-syndicalism is easier to they don't know. Fascist, isn't that doesn't that mean I don't know what it is. I don't know. You know who fought against the fascists? The Russians. They're the Russians are they were our allies. What? So let me just say this. You've got to do something. Listen to me. Don't listen to people. Look at this. Look at our dear friend. This is Kuma Road King listening from Japan. Welcome, brother or sister. And I'm not going to say they. You're one or the other. Come here. If you want me to see, if you don't know whether you're a man or a woman, I'll show you. Come here. I'll do one little thing. Come here. Drop trowel, baby. Let's see it. Yep, you're a man. That's it. So let's just get this out of the way. So don't worry about what anybody says. We had a tremendous weekend. The that cutting room was great right before, and then there were people afterwards. Yesterday, New York was, oh my God, I'm so proud to be in New York. Proud to be. I'm a native New Yorker born elsewhere. It's a great place. New York is great, and it's back. There were no problems. It was beautiful. And these miserable commie leftist rat bastards, they couldn't take it. The event, listen to Uncle Lenny. Remember this. Remember this today. Listen to what I'm saying. I want you to tell all your friends. Tell them the Woodstock analogy. Tell them this. Remind them of this. Everybody always finds some fault with something, but it's what you remember. Mario Cuomo, who was, in many respects, a great orator, but full of shit. Like, pardon I'm sorry, I'm too salty this point, but there's no other word for it. He was the one who said, "I don't like The Godfather because it defiles the Italian people," and say, "Would you shut up? This is why the Sons are like that." It's this is a guy who went, spoke before. Remember they said, "This Mario Cuomo and his speech big speech at the DNC," then all of a sudden, what happened with that? I don't know. I don't know. Trump 2020, baby. I ain't forgetting. So Mario Cuomo said, "The Godfather is a negative, image of Italian Americans." Would you shut up? What are you talking about? Negative image of African what? It's the greatest movie ever. Nobody says, "Well, that was a wonderful explication and an indictment of the Italian Ame" No! It was a movie about the mafia where you have to be, news to Mario, an Italian. I got news for you. So there are always these people. So remember, The Godfather, they complained about it. The Godfather, when it first came out, was panned. You don't remember that. They didn't like it. They didn't think this was a you don't remember this. It's later. We decide, not somebody who said, no, we decide. I was watching last night a show, thing on Devo. Remember that from the '80s? What I don't know. I ain't whipping good. I thought it was the worst movie. People loved it. What do I care? What do I know? Number one, number one. Remember this. Remember this. So if anybody tells you, well, I think the comedian. Oh, would you? The comedian now? He's booked forever. Don Imus was excoriated when he attacked Clinton. Norm Macdonald. We live in a world of edgy and raunchy. Whoever hired him, I didn't know what he was going to do. And very frankly, this I'm going to tell you something. You ready for this? Listen to Uncle Lenny. Listen to me. I'm gonna tell you this. I love jokes that are not only politically off incorrect, but I like when people say, "Ooh, ooh." What's wrong with that? It's Don Rickles. Don Rickles used to stand up there and say, "Hey, where are you from?" Remember this guy who goes, "I'm Japan." "Ooh, ooh, ooh, ooh," and he would make the teeth joke. Oh, he used to do these things when he would do the, "Oh, I do believe," and did you ever see the roast of Don Rickles? He would do and poor Nipsey Russell, who, by the way, lived in the neighborhood. They would say, "Hey, I do believe," and he would do all this step and fetches stuff and clean the bathrooms, and what are you talking about? He would my favorite one, he would do this thing where he would, point to black people, and all of a sudden he would say he would do the he would do, like, blow darts, like some African, villager shooting darts in his neck. I mean, come on. It was Don Rickles because we had a sense of humor, and it's like, "Oh, so what?" So if this comedian talks about Puerto Rico being an island of garbage, okay, so what? I mean, oh, it's not. It's just it's a bad joke. We used to handle this. Uh, Frank Sinatra told Reagan, "Don Rickles will be at your" uh whatever your thing was. Remember Emmanuel Lewis, TV's web series says, "And be funny." They're making this joke about this black, he says, the only, black midget or so he made all this we laughed. Reagan laughed. George Shultz laughed. We had a sense of humor. They're making fun of dwarf or little black kids. I mean, no, nobody thought like that. Nobody said, "Oh, this is terrible. This he just said he's my Boricua brothers and sisters." Oh, shut up. It's a freaking joke. Let it go. It doesn't matter. And you're gonna put on this morning, who is it? You're gonna, put on no, I thought the worst one, I don't know about you, we watched the whole thing yesterday, and I got reports from everybody. Oh, my favorite is, "Did you go to the VIP party?" Go to the VIP party? Are you kidding me? Uncle Lenny doesn't go, "I'm the VIP. I'm not gonna go there." Sit around and say, "Ooh, is that Laura Ingraham?" Excuse me. I don't do that. I don't play. I'm not into this star effing, which is a term in New York especially. I don't do that. I don't wanna see any of these people. I'm sorry, this may come as a big but Vivek Ramaswamy, "Can I get a picture with you?" I don't want a picture of you. I told you the 2 pick well, 3, 1 will remain quiet, but 2 that I'm very proud of is me and George Jones and E.O. Wilson, the entomologist and social bio I mean, just I don't do this. I will never, ever go up and say, "Can I get a picture with you?" You will never. Let him take a picture with me. I'm the center of the universe, not you. Laura Ingraham? Hey, is that Alina Habba? Alina Habba is there for Alina Habba. Do I have to break this to you? It's a free country. But I think I wouldn't be surprised if Trump told her, "Hey, listen, I ain't paying you diddly. What I am doing is I'll let you rise up. You can tell people you're, how do I say this? You're my lawyer, but this whole thing yesterday, look at me. I got my jacket. I'm coming out. I'm so sexy. I'm doing my dancing." It's like, the best was Stephen Miller. Stephen Miller was the best yesterday. Vivek Ramaswamy was terrific. How do I say this? Vivek was terrific. Tucker was terrific. I'm not gonna say who was so-so. Look, it's over. Next time, I'm gonna say, "Tulsi Gabbard, I love you. You are great. You're gonna be a great future president." The next time you do a rally, call Uncle Lenny. Let me give you a couple of pointers here. That's all. That's all. It wasn't that don't worry about it. You wanna sit around and say, "Well, she was this or" you wanna go to stylistic? It doesn't matter. It was the whole thing. It was the fact that they went through miles and miles and people. "Honey, what's that street down?" They were, 31st or something? Like, they went 32nd, 31st. Yeah, anyway, well, they had this one down the I used to be an old well, 33rd. There used to be a great, Irish bar we used to go to when we were at, Two Penn Plaza, which is where WABC was, where Rush was and Bob Grant, and then the Garden is right next to it. It's Penn Station is right there. There was a place called the Blarney Rock, not the Blarney Stone, Blarney Rock, and this place was one of the greatest bars ever, and we did morning drive. So if somebody wants to go out, our happy hour was like, 10 o'clock in the morning because 'cause we've been up since, like, 3, and there's all these hard hats and iron workers doing shots and climbing buildings. I mean, this is the old days. This is when you had this is it. And by the way, that's a shout out to this Margot Martin, because nobody can say T. Martin, Manhattan. I don't know why kids can't do that today. For some reason, the letter T got Manhattan. It's that Martin. She and Dan Scavino. That was a Dan Scavino was a moment. Next, by the way, the whole yesterday, Sid Rosenberg. That was the moment. Did you see that one? You could almost hear this whole who's Sid Rosenberg? You could hear it throughout the entire ladies and gentlemen, talk show host. Who? Sid Rosenberg, talk show host, Victrola star. God bless him. He's a fine man. Sid thinks he's Italian. Sid's like James Caan. James Caan thought he was Italian. Sid Rosenberg, hey, how you doing? Hey, no effing way. Up in New York. Huh? And I imagine, you know how they have the Amislan and there was a fellow one time, I think for the Tampa, was it TPD, Tampa Police Department? They had a guy there who wasn't even a signer. Remember that one? YouTube this. And people were home saying, this isn't, what is this? He would do these, make noise, not noise, oxymoronic. But anyway, but when Sid was doing it, no effing way, effing, imagine if you had a signer there. What is the sign language for effing? What is it? And they also have to, sometimes they will, oh, who was it? Two great moments. When Michael Bloomberg, the mayor of New York, would do Spanish, el asunto es mejor, lo siento, es el mejor y mayores, en el sacramento y mayor y populante el país. El Nueva York. It was horrible. It was El Bloombergo. It was, but he had this signer who would not only give you the sign, but give you the emotion that that it was important, because if you're just reading words, but she would try to convey the emotion of the thought. So when she would be up there, she would do this. And so I'm wondering if Sid Rosenberg were doing this, what would that look like? What would that look like? What would that moment of horror, look at? No effing way. And would she do whatever the sign for? Anyway, I digress. So this Margot Martin has the best videos ever. because she's right there. So that was a good move. And where was Kimberly? Where was Kimberly? Kimberly Guilfoyle. Wait a minute. Hold it. Raul says Trump's suit fits perfect. Thank you. He does. Well, it's bespoke. Remember his shoes? Get my shoes. That was a funny line from the comedian. Get my shoes. He said some jokes that were really kind of like, that's true. That's pretty good. Like, yeah, I never thought about that. I thought about that. He said something one time, which was, first of all, why are you kidding about the ear? But he was saying, up here at the top, the carnage, that's where little girls get studs and things. That part has no feeling. I'm thinking, oh, really? It has no feeling? Come here. Come here. Say something. Dig my fingernail into your ear. Has no feeling? Has no feeling? Huh? I'll stop anytime you want. But I'll stop after you get on and kiss his arse for saying something as stupid as that. Bill Simpson, ladies and gentlemen. Bill, thank you. Not for what you do, but for what you appear to do. And I mean that sincerely. Okay, here was something funny last night. Now, this dude, I guess it was the 49ers. This happened. Did you see this?
First half. What was said during halftime? Hey. All right. Nick Bosa with a message there.
Nick Bosa. Now, this was a MAGA hat, white with gold letters. Didn't show up at all. One more time.
In the first half. What was said during halftime? Hey.
MAGA. There you go.
All
Make
right.
America great
Nick
again.
Bosa with a message there.
Remember that? Nobody knew what it was. And of course, they're going crazy. And they asked Nick, did I say that? Did I say axe? I did, didn't I? You can't beat him. Anyway, here's what Nick said.
I'm not going to talk too much about it, but I think it's an important time.
One more time.
It would appear to be a political statement.
It appears to be a political statement. Ladies and gentlemen, please. I would have said, excuse me. Yes, I've just received a call from the Nobel Committee. Yes, the Nobel Committee in this year's award, they're announcing it prematurely, nonetheless, for the no shite obviousness is to you for asking, do you think it was a political statement?
It would appear to be a political statement.
It appears to be, thank you. And you are a reporter, and I'm wearing a MAGA hat, obviously in reference to President Trump, and you say it appears to be a political statement.
I'm not going to talk too much about it, but I think it's an important time.
It's an important time. You damn right. By the way, you know what was a political statement? When Nick Kaepernick used to take his knee, and none of you rat bastards, you imprisoned testicular gelding fey lunatics, never said a word about him. Oh, that was different. That was different because, well, that was Colin Kaepernick. You know what? Bring out the sign lady. Whatever the sign for, whatever it is. Now, let's talk about the power of the meme, ladies and gentlemen. This is the stuff. This is the stuff. I was talking to my good friend Magic Maj the other day. He's a beautiful man. I said, Maj, do you notice this? Do you notice? He goes, yes. Yes. Listen to the beauty of this. This is our new cartoonist. This is the Dilly meme team. Everybody dance. Come on, honey, do your dance.
Yeah, I'm out the Queens side, grew up in Jamaica, now in Mar-a-Lago, but I'm New York forever. My way like Sinatra, that's how I made it here. I can make it anywhere. Trump
I gotta tell you something. Billy 300, it's brilliant. I grew up. This is, let me explain something to you. I love the people in my hometown and the people that I grew up with and my family and my friends and all this stuff. They're wonderful, wonderful people. But I never really felt, how do I say this? I always connected elsewhere. Bob Dylan had a line that says, I was born very far away from where I'm supposed to be. And so I'm on my way home. I was born very far away from where I'm supposed to be. And so I'm on my way home. I was born very far from where I'm supposed to be. And so I'm on my way home, because he was born in what, Duluth, or not Duluth. He was born in whatever is in Minnesota. In any event, not Duluth. Wait a minute, Bob Dylan hometown. This drives me crazy. It's Hibbing, Minnesota. Okay. So all my life, the first time I would see things about New York, because all the people I watched, Merv Griffin, and then with Johnny Carson, and then it was this, and then New York movies, and my friends would go to New York. I never really went to New York. I thought, but I don't want to. I kind of. Then when I came here, it was like this. I've been here. I know it sounds crazy. I've been here. I would walk around. I swear to God, I never felt like this. There are parts in Hell's Kitchen. I swear to God, it's like, I have been here. This is familiar to me. I know it sounds weird. Jerry Wexler, the greatest producer ever. He's my quote. He was my pal. This was the most brilliant man. He did everybody from the Stones to Dylan to Aretha Franklin to Atlantic Records, Jerry Wexler. And he and I became buddies. And he said that I was originally a lock slicer on the Lower East Side, born 100 years ago. So I love New York. And I get a kick out of it. And when people trash it, it just kills me. But I understand most of them have never been here. When they come here, you just can't believe it. Bring somebody to Times Square who's never been here. When all the lights are on, say, holy, when you're flying in and you see that and you come over the Midtown Tunnel, boom. It just, so whenever people talk about it, why don't you leave? Why don't you leave? No, why don't you leave? Leave. It's just, so yesterday was a New York State of Mind. Great song. By the way, Diane Shore's version of this is better than anything. It was absolutely incredible. It was just incredible. And at the Garden, dear God. And speaking of songs, do you know what's really interesting? You know who Hulk Hogan, born Terry Bollea in Tampa. I think it was Port Tampa, along with Steve Kern and Mike Graham and all these Tampa people. See, Tampa, baseball, Wade Boggs, Dwight Gooden. I think Garvey played there for a while. Al Lopez, Hall of Famer. I prosecuted a guy who burgled Al Lopez. Al Lopez is famous. He's the White Sox and the coach. Steinbrenner, the Yankees. Wade Boggs. Tino Martinez. Dave Magadan. Dave Magadan went to my high school. Lou Piniella went to my high school. Tony La Russa. By the way, they have classic West Tampa accents. So Tampa's very, there's that. Wrestling. Oh, Gordon Soley. So we had our thing, and it was wonderful, and it means a lot to me. But New York, it's like the great joke. Somebody who says, I'm so embarrassed. Why? My father's a town drunk. That's not so bad. New York? Because of the enormity of it. It's big. There are things I'm still discovering. So when you saw all those people lining up for no other, believe me, the whole thing could have been shut down and they say, you know what? Mission accomplished. All these people. It was glory. Yes, Eric Adams. And let me tell you something. Eric Adams, yeah, he's a jadrul. Yeah. But let me tell you, he's my jadrul. I've changed my mind. Trump is signaling, don't worry, I got you covered. He fought back because deep down inside, he's kind of like a cop. He's a New Yorker. He's not a bad guy. That they pulled him into this stuff. And he fought. Hochul, the governor of New York, didn't want Trump there. But Dolan, who runs the Guard and others, he goes, oh, no. This is it. And Kathy Hochul, you're done. Because let me tell you something about these rat bastards, these Democrats. They forget you. Unless you produce. The moment you say, because that's one of the reasons they went after him is because he dared to question Biden. Okay? You understand what I'm saying? Does this make any sense to you? I hope it does. Now, speaking of making sense, let me remind you of something before I forget. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now the 28th. Please, if you don't mind ever being in the position where you are completely food dependent, and in the event of a disaster that you have absolutely nothing past a couple of hours, if ever stores close down or roads are closed because of weather, UFOs, martial law, civil war, or these rat bastards who are going to be doing stuff at the last minute to remember, if I had to predict something, let's see, Uncle Lenny, what would you predict? You know what I predict? If I had to predict, I'd say money's on a dock strike right before Trump takes over, or as soon as well, right before he takes over, because technically Biden will be in charge. And then they tell this guy talks like that from the dock workers. Now, I don't know him, but as you know, throughout history, these people have been rather salty folks. And I'll bet you anything, somebody said, if you know what's good for you, the last thing you're going to do is countermand our order. Okay? So what we want you to do is make sure, listen carefully, you suspend it now, the strike. But when we say do it, you do it. Got it? Okay. Because these folks are as gangster as you can get. I'm not suggesting the dock workers are in any way mob connected. Please. No. However, the motivations sometimes that are directed towards people are indeed fascinating. So preparewithlionel.com. If you don't think it's a good idea to just peruse preparewithlionel.com and look for water purification, biomass ovens, solar generators, plus food with a 25-year shelf life in waterproof buckets, 2,000 calories a day, from 7 days to 10 days to 15 days to 30 to 90 to a year, whatever it is. If you think that maybe you don't need food for you and your family and a variety, if you think banana chips and jerky are going to last 10 days, or as one of you said, I got a fishing pole. Do you do? Yeah, I got a fishing pole. You're going to fish, huh? Okay, there you go. I'm going to go to the creek with Opie and Andy. We're going to catch you. Sure, I don't need emergency food. I've got my pole. I'm going to catch fish out there in the water. Okay, fine. Okay. Preparewithlionel.com. Do it and do it now. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say to you. Now, as I said, Tampa, Hulk Hogan, Terry Bollea. Making famous now the Trump dance. When you see people, this is what you're going to do to drive. This is going to be our shibboleth. This is going to be our secret signal. When you meet a fellow MAGAN, you're going to do this wonderful little do-si-do, this little promenade left, promenade right. That's right, the Trump. And I thought he was fantastic. You may think this is crazy, but by the way, Tulsi Gabbard, Tulsi, we love you to death. You're very smart, and you're going to be the next president, or you're going to be a president. But this is the way.
said, let Trumpomania run wild, brother. Let Trumpomania rule again.
That's the way to do it.
Trumpomania make America great again.
Now, this was not last night, but still at the convention. But look at this. That you see, that's the thing. Leave it to professional wrestling. Bringing the heat, doing the thing, pointing, going like this, working the crowd. Let me see if I can say something to you. Ladies and gentlemen, the crowd is the instrument. If you want to come out and do like a Leo Kottke album, you ever been to? I went to a Leo Kottke. He opened for somebody one time. I remember one time I took my mother to a con. I think it might have been Dwight Yoakam. No, I think it was Bosa. I think I took her to see Bosa. In any event, like Leo Kottke came out, and my mother said, "What the hell is this?" I said, "Mom, he's a 12 string." Goes, "This is horrible." I said, "No, it's not horrible. He's a genie." He goes, "At a concert, he plays a 12 string. What are you doing?" Maybe one song, and she was right. It did nothing. On a crowd, you play the instrument. When you're on a stage, as I was at the cutting room, Uncle Lenny, you say something, and all of a sudden you hear this laugh, and you stop, and you stretch it, and you stop, and you look around, and you react, and they start playing. They start laughing. So they want to see more of this. They're reacting. Sometimes it takes a second. So you wait, and you play them. They're the instrument. By the way, Streaming Analytics says, thanks for your lack of interest in sports. You get nothing if they win and frustrated if they lose. To me, it's like, sports to me is like NASCAR. I respect it, but I don't, one way or the other. I understand it. I recognize the importance of it. The whole bread and circuses thing, but that's all. Now, let me see this. Now, here's another thing too, and I want people to understand something. And I'm glad we brought this up. Listen to Uncle Lenny. There's a lot of folks who really get involved in the Israeli, Palestinian, Gaza, Middle East thing, okay? And that's fine. I dig it. Please understand something. Israelis, Jews, Middle East, Bibi, Palestine, the Nakba, the Balfour Declaration. There's all these moving parts. Nobody has beef, or should have a beef, with anybody's religion. If you're a Jew or an Orthodox or a Reform or whatever, fine. Catholic, Presbyterian, Protestant, fine. Hindu, Buddhist, fine. Atheist, fine. Wiccan, fine. That's their religion. Got no beef with you. However, if for some particular reason, and this is very weird, you have a country, a state rather, a state of Israel, it gets sometimes confusing. So consequently, people say, it's like, no. And they use the word Zionism and say, okay. Be very careful not to confuse the two. Do not confuse the two. So when Jews are celebrating Judaism, you as an American citizen, pursuant to the First Amendment, respect that. What they do in Israel, different story. What they do in Palestine, different story. Islam has nothing to do with Gaza. Sorry, that's a different issue. They might be Islamic, and Judaism has nothing to do with Bibi, whatever. I'm sorry, you may not agree with it, but it's true. So yesterday, when all these rat bastards, these lefties were saying that Madison Square Garden was somehow Nazi-esque because in 1939 there was a Bund meeting or there was something else. This was something that the media failed to show you. These are a bunch of Jewish celebrants at the Trump rally or at a Nazi rally. Now let me say this again to you, and I want you to listen very carefully. Now, listen to the irony. These are a bunch of Jewish celebrants peacefully, excitedly, welcomingly holding the Trump banner and doing a particular Jewish celebratory or some type of dance. I guess I would imagine, I don't know, at a, get this, at a Nazi rally. Now, let me say this again to you. And the Guardian had it today, and other people have it today, and the NBC have it. This is the Nazi and the Madison Square Garden. And now, either these young men, I believe, and women, I guess, either they are so historically deranged that they don't know they're at a Nazi rally, or that the notion of the entire Nazi rally is bullshit. Okay? So one more time, this is a Nazi rally that these Jews are attending, which makes no sense. Okay? It makes no sense. None of it makes any sense, because these people, they're trying to throw stuff at you, and they pick something up, and you're saying, what are you throwing? I'm throwing it. Yeah, but what are you throwing? It's the fascist word. Wait. What's a fascist? I don't know. I'm throwing it. I'm just throwing it. Well, what are you doing? Nazi. There's nothing Nazi. But there was a Nazi rally. There was a Republican National Convention there. There was the Democratic National Convention. 2 popes, Sinatra, at this place. People lined up to see. If I showed you, forget the coloration. If I showed you people lined up to see the Pope, people lined up for the Democratic National Convention, you couldn't tell the difference, with the exception of signs or whatever it is. So don't use that. But to the left, they don't care about that, because they just take stuff and they just throw it. Whether it makes sense or not, it doesn't matter. As long as they're screaming, as long as they're yelling, that's all that matters to these people. As long as they scream, as long as they yell, that's it. Now, this was one of those moments from, there is a guy who was tough as nails. This is the guy, his name is Tom Homan. Mrs. L knows him very well. And oh, look at this. Carla, the cookie CEO. I was born far, far away today, but I'm home now, right where I belong. America, I love you. And this is your birthday, I believe, young lady. Is that correct? Is that correct? I believe it's your birthday. I have a relative who said birthday used to drive me crazy as a kid. Is it your birthday? And I would say no. And my mother would go like that. I said no. But today's your birthday. I said no. So let us stop right now, and let us please direct your attention to our dear friend Carla, the cooking CEO. It's her birthday today. Please direct your love, direct a nice emoji, a little cake, a little candle, a little balloons. How are you? Happy birthday to you. Feliz cumpleaños. And a hand fart for everybody. All right. Birthdays are a beautiful thing. Carla's been a member of the family, as are you. Okay. Oh, I'm bad. Birthdays I love. Today's my birthday. Because it's mine today. I know it's Macaulay Culkin and Ben Bradley and Mother Teresa, but that doesn't matter. Ryan, ladies and gentlemen, says no wonder Senator Casey and Senator Baldwin cut ads talking about how well they work with Trump. Last night, MSG rally shows that nothing is stopping this juggernaut. Ryan, you are correct. Oh, it is so big right now. It is so. Well, right now, the Real Clear Politics shows a toss-up. Shut the up. I don't want to hear about it. It's done. There's going to be some people who are going to vote. I have a dear friend of mine. We just bust each other's balls all day long. And when I talk to him, I always say this. I know. You're going to vote for there because Trump is a fascist. Okay, I know. I got it. I know. Trump is a fascist, and you're going to vote for me because Trump is a fascist. Okay, I know. No, I know. And I make it sound like he's crazy. I know because Trump is, what is it? Oh, yeah, Trump is a fascist. He's a fascist, and he's a dick. Okay, fine. I know Trump is a fascist. Okay. And it's like, I know what you're going to do. You have no idea of what's happening. Now, look at this. This is Tom Homan. He was a border czar, Homeland Security. I don't remember what he was. Let me see. He was very good. Trump. He was. This is great. They're talking about Trump, about mass deportation. This is. Let me get the whole thing. Oh yes, this was Tom Homan, who led immigration enforcement during the first Trump administration, when thousands of migrant children were separated from their parents at the border. I love that. They should have been separated, DNA tested, and then made sure that they're not in some kind of a weird traffic thing. But anyway, this is Tom Homan. And watch, by the way, watch this. Watch the arrogance of this 60 Minutes Torquemada wannabe trying to get the best of Mr. Homan. And needless to say, it doesn't work.
We have seen one estimate that says it would cost $88 billion to deport 1 million people a year.
Ooh.
I don't know if that's accurate or not.
Now, this is the best part. By the way, do you know how much we've sent to, and I'm sorry, Israel and Ukraine? I'm sorry, Zelensky and do you know that? Ukrainian, do you any idea of the monies that we've spent? All of the monies that we've spent for programs on identitarian nonsense. You have any idea of that? If you want to, do you want to start playing this? No. Never bring up money. Never say, well, this is going to cost $88 billion. Excuse me. Yes. And the carbon only nonsense. Okay, let's watch this again. But watch her face. Watch the I've got you.
We have seen one estimate that says it would cost $88.
See how her head's cocked? You know who does that? Crystal Ball does that. From I haven't watched that lately. From the whatever it's called, the Breaking Points or whatever it's called. She does this. There's something about this. Either that or I hurt my neck. But it's a sense of I've got you.
$1 billion to deport 1 million people a year.
Ooh, did you see that? Ooh, you see that? One more time. This is so good. She says, I really got this guy. Watch this. Let me go back up. Here we go. Watch this.
$88 billion to deport 1 million people a year.
Ooh, did you see that? Ooh. Now watch Homan just rip her head off.
I don't know if that's accurate or not.
Is that what American taxpayers should expect?
What price do you put on national security? Is that worth it?
Is there a way to carry out mass deportation without separating family?
Is she this is her whole thing, separating family. Terrorists are pouring over, and the only thing, well, we'll let the terrorists in so long as little Timmy doesn't become, I mean, that's not something to be overlooked, but national security means nothing to her because it's Trump.
Of course there is. Families can be deported together.
One more time.
Security. Is that worth it?
Is there a way to carry out mass deportation without separating families?
Of course there is. Families can be deported together.
There you go. Next question. Let me ask you something right now. Ladies and gentlemen, my dear friends, what do you think would happen if you and your wife or husband ever went just walked into France and said, hey, here we are. I got the kids with me. And we're coming in and F you, okay? We're coming in. Where do we go? Where do we get processed? Wait, what? Where do we get processed? Where do you get processed? Yeah, where do we get processed? Where do we go to get processed? And by the way, you're not going to... Have you had any COVID? Excuse me. Don't talk to me about this. I got an app here. Somebody gave me. I put this app. Let's go. Where's my money card? Because I'm an illegal, right? I'm an illegal. Give me my my little ATM card for my monies. Where do I go? And you're not going to separate me. What do you think? How long would it be before the French said, "Get out of here. Take you and your kids and get out of here"? You're not going to separate us. No, you're all going. You can't do this. Yes, we can. Don't do this. And then the next thing you know, the message comes back. Hey, listen, if you go to France, don't just show up. They send you back. They send you back. Now, here's something that I will not understand. This is the part. This is the story. Okay. Do you remember? This was the story. You know, a lot of people do this. And whenever you talk about Israel, people love to say, just like sometimes you got to say, what about the USS Liberty? Huh? Huh? What about the USS What about the Liberty? What about the Liberty? You got to say that. Huh? That's and you hope somebody says, well, what's the Liberty? Okay. And I'm not in any way diminishing the criticality of that issue. But I say this. You want to talk about separating? What about the St. Louis? Huh? What about the St. Louis? What about St. Louis? No, the ship. In 1939, the German liner St. Louis sailed from Hamburg, Germany to Havana, Cuba. 937 passengers were almost all Jewish refugees. Cuba's government refused to allow the ship to land. The United States and Canada were unwilling to admit the passengers. The St. Louis passengers were finally permitted to land in Western European countries rather than return to Nazi Germany. Ultimately, 254 of the St. Louis passengers were killed in the Holocaust. Now, this is your guy, FDR, who, by the way, was in many respects one of the most naive people who ever lived. So you want to talk about this? Let's talk. What are you talking about? Think undocumented. Imagine this. During the Holocaust, because FDR says, I don't want to be they're going to, look, they're Jewish. They're Jewish. And I don't want to, you know what I mean? This whole World War II thing, and plus we got to be with the commies. Oh, this FDR character was terrific. Everybody thinks, oh, it was so terrific. So if you want to go through history and you want to talk about the Liberty, okay, fine. Talk about the St. Louis. I would have said, excuse me, 900, come on in. What? Excuse me. You're not going back. I'm not going to kill you. 934. We'll figure it out. But no. And people said, well, that's wonderful. Think about this. So I want to ask you, little honey, little liberal, what about that? And this is your liberal commie, whatever your patron saint. Don't give me this nonsense about this. See, history, Tolstoy said, history would be a wonderful thing if only it were true. So first of all, listen to Uncle Lenny's next rule. Don't listen to these people. Don't listen to these people. I told you this yesterday. I'm going to tell you again. And Carla, especially on your birthday, you should understand. There are people in the world that you're going to ask yourself, who's my friend? Who isn't? Whom can I really trust? Who is the person in my life I can really trust? Who are the people that make me happy? Who are the people that I tolerate? Who are the people that annoy me? Who are the people that I can look to really, really feel good about? Number one. Number two, never, ever, ever play hero worship. Ever. Ever. Give me something that's accomplishment. If you want to stand next to somebody, okay, who I told you this, I shook hands with the greatest country music singer ever, Jimmy Rogers. I'm sorry, Hank Williams Jr., George Jones, because of what he did. Because of what he did. Not, oh, he's famous. No. What he did. Don't ever be a star effer. That's, that's a big, and I've got these people in New York. Oh, they're pain in the ass. These people have nothing to do with it. I was there. Look at me. Ooh, look, I'm sitting here. I'm shaking hands with Lara Trump. Oh my God. By the way, do you have a towel or something? What? Do you have a towel or something I can put out when I bow on my knees and become prostrate and bow before you? You touched the hem of Lara Trump or Laura. Oh God. What was it like? What is she like? Is she as beautiful? Oh God, get out of here. I'm not gonna go. No. No. And I may also tell you something. And this may come as a shock to you. And I don't want to offend anybody. Thank God there's this guy named Donald Trump. He is looking for, this is a job application. We want him. We admire him. We respect him. We are in awe of him. We thank God for him, but he's going to work for us. Let me remind you of this. He's not the king. He's not Elvis. He's not the Beatles. He's going to work for us, and he's going to carry through. Remember, take our not his idea, not his vision, our vision. He is mirroring and fulfilling our vision, our view. This is about us. It's not about him. I know with Trump and I mean, hey, MAGA, that's great. We love him. Don't ever lose sight of that. Don't ever lose sight of that. We are not a monarchy. We are not, no. This is a constitutional republic. We elect him to basically follow the rules. It's a very, very simple thing. And we are right now up against something which is so important. We are against a generational political cancer. And I don't know where these people came from. I don't know. I've had friends of mine, I've got so many doctor friends, and I love to ask them, why? Do you remember years ago, there was no such thing as pediatric oncology? Maybe there was a kid with leukemia. Maybe rarely somebody would have a brain tumor. Maybe. But kids didn't have cancer. They just didn't. It was a rarity. Doctors would travel miles around. Yeah, excuse me. The kid with cancer, can we see him? It's true. Right? There was this thing. Now, some things have gotten bigger. Life expectancy has gotten, okay, I understand some things are better. But I asked friends of mine, why is there so much pediatric oncology? Why? He said, I don't know. I don't know. I give you some theories. I give you maybe a environment. I don't know. Nobody knows. There is no definitive answer, and they're all different types of cancers. Okay. Where did these people come from? I don't know. What happened? I don't know. Bobby Kennedy, who was excellent last night. Bobby Kennedy would sit there, and I would love to sit there and say, you have the chance to be one of the greatest politicians of all time, except you can't keep your schwanz in your pants, and you've got that weird Kennedy thing. I know you were a heroin addict, and maybe you're all screwed up, but you've got this Kennedy thing, and nobody's ever going to trust you. And I love that when you turn your back on those other rat bastards in your family, but your problem is going to be you. You'll never, ever hit the level of greatness that you are absolutely entitled to enjoy because of this weird thing with women you've got. That notwithstanding. These are people who've come, God bless them. Elon Musk. Well, Elon Musk, he's autistic. What? That's the new thing. Not the new thing, but he's on the spectrum. Uh-huh. And what? And what? You ever seen Terrence Tao? I'm not saying this. Terrence Tao, T-A-O. He is today probably the greatest mathematician. I think he's born in Australia. He's Chinese and born in Adelaide or something. He is a monster. Look at him. I don't, but he's not exactly a barrel of laughs. He's not Rip Taylor. He's not. Edward Witten is a monster in terms of, this is the only guy who wins the Fields Medal, and he's a physicist. He's not even a mathematician. The Fields Medal is the Nobel for math. And he's not a mathematician. Look at him. He's like, what is this? So nobody says, yeah, but is he on the spectrum? I don't know if he's on the, he's just stop this, because these people, these rat bastard lefties, cannot handle the fact that there are these people that we like and who are making tremendous. I mentioned this Saturday night. Here's Elon Musk. When we were a kid, Mrs. Ellen and I, we'd be in a school and the nuns would say, well, kids, today we're going to bring in the TV because the astronauts are landing or they're taking off for the landing. Okay. And they would bring in this big, remember those big TVs? Remember those big TVs? Uh-oh, somebody says, I love this. Somebody says, Lionel, check your super chats. Okay, I will. By gum, I'm going to check them. I want to check them. I'm checking them. There's William Oliveri. Thank you. Thank you. Crypto says, morning, Uncle Lenny. Thank you, kind sir. Thank you. In 57, MLK led the prayer for Graham in the MSG. Okay, Marcus here. Okay, I just gonna check them. I'll make sure I check them. I'm checking those. Okay. All of a sudden somebody will say, could you check the super chat, please? Okay, thanks. I don't give a damn what you're saying, but could you just check them for a minute? Okay, I'll do that. But as I was saying, and thank you, they would bring in this TV, big monster with a big tube in the back, and it was on this metal thing with wheels, and they would wheel it in and plug it in. Ooh, a TV, and we got the rabbit. There's no cable, no nothing. This is in the 60s, I guess. And, and we had these big windows with no drapes. And said, sister, we can't see the Sister Mary Agony. Sister, we can't see. Shut up. Okay. I think is that water? Is that it? No, I haven't even turned it on yet. Oh, it's my reflection. Okay. Hey, look, we can see. And they would land. And these poor bastards would be out there and they would basically drop into the water with a parachute. So here comes Elon Musk. Here's the the rocket. It goes up, and then it comes down. It backs up. What is this? I didn't think they could do this. It backs right back into the position. It's just, I mean, this. And you think he's on the spectrum? Let's hear for the spectrum. Can we get more spectra? This is the way these people think. Elon Musk changed everything. Trump changed everything. He's got Bobby Kennedy and Tucker. Joe Rogan. Did you see this? This is also beautiful. I want you to check out. Please, are you following me on X? They used to call it Twitter, but we call it X now. Joe Rogan is so... Look at this. I got to show you this one thing. This really was something. Oh, here we go. Let me see. These are the biggest Rogan thing. Obviously, Joe Rogan's podcast is already in the top 5 watched episodes with 31 million views on YouTube. This is, by the way, 34 million years. Now remember, 2 days ago, it was 31 million. Next, Joe Rogan with Elon Musk 4 years ago was 34 million. 3 million off from Trump 2 days ago. 5 years ago, Joe and Edward Snowden, 38 million 5 years ago. And the number one 5 years ago, Bob Lazar and Jeremy Corbell, 61 million 5 years ago. So this is the thing. So this has changed everything transcendentally. You hear what I'm saying? Transcendentally. And all these people, they drag out Robert De Niro. They bring out Beyonce to piss off her fan by not even doing They don't care. They're either so stupid they don't care and they kind of wanted to lose, or maybe they figure we're going to steal this. Now, I can't imagine this. I kept thinking to myself, when you saw the people lining up at the Garden this weekend, I kept thinking to myself, can you imagine if they tried to steal it from these people? There may be a civil war. These people are not going to take this. This is so huge. Okay, maybe one state or the other. And can you imagine living in a country where somebody would actively vote? If I thought on two separate occasions, number one was in Romney, was whatever, and the second one was when Trump ran in 2016. I said, I don't even want to be a part of it. This is a joke. Trump's not going to win. Hillary's not going to. So I wrote my name in. So I will vote, but I'm not going to just vote for somebody because, I just have to. No, I'll write my name in. I don't care. I will go to I will say, here's my pen. Let me sign my name. But how can anybody actually look at me and say, I really like Guatemala. I like her. I like Timmy. I like their ideas. I like tampon dispensaries. I like the idea how she changes her mind. I like the way the accents change. I like the way she says both. She has new ideas. We have to roll back the pages, but she is a pages. And she is basically, again, we don't use the word retarded. That's a word which we don't use. However, if ever there was an exception, not in any way mocking people who were in any way intellectually disabled, but people who are just profoundly, almost deliberately self-induced stupidity, it is she. It is that simple, my friend. It is that simple. So remember, whenever anybody asks you today, any of your friends, well, did you see this? And what about this? And what about that comic? And please, forget Sid Rosenberg. He tried his best. He came out. He thinks he's Italian. He's, I don't know what. I love two people. He and Bo Dietl are these two. Hey, how you doing? I don't, I mean, it's okay. It's great. We need that because we're going to lose after another generation. We're not going to have that New York kind of I don't want to say thug character, but let's face it, in movies, I guess we need them. I don't know. But that was the funniest. I turned to Mrs. Ellen and said, do they know about this? And bless his heart, he's a good guy. But you could also hear them murmur, now, speaking, next guest, at the Madison Square Garden, doing a paid tribute, to Donald Trump, Sid Rosenberg. Who? It's like an owl convention. Who? The painter was good. So when somebody brings something up and they say, hey, what was this about? You say this to them. You say, look, let me explain something to you. Woodstock was a disaster. Woodstock was terrible. They panned the Godfather. You want to go through this? It's what it means. Seeing all these people. We had friends. Oh my God, Mrs. L's phone we had live coverage from everybody we knew sending her pictures. Look at this. Here I am. Biggest mistake? Listen to Uncle Lenny. Number one, you need toilets. You need porta potties. That's what you need when you have them on the street. It's one thing when you're in Butler, PA, or you're in some field. Well, not anymore. Or you're in an arena. When you're in the arena, and you will never get an actual number of, honey, how many people were waiting outside? 200,000 or? Here we go. 200,000 plus, wait, 200,000 plus applied to be in the actual event. 200,000 applied. Okay, that's number one. How many? 20,000 got in. Capacity.
They're saying 100,000 were in the streets.
They're saying 100,000. Forget it. There are people who. So they went there knowing they weren't going to get in. 20,000 people, 200,000 show up. I'm the kind of person who, if anybody, remember, I don't care for crowds, and the first thing I think of is, if we leave now, we can beat if we get the train, So these people said, oh, I know this. And I feel like saying, do you understand? You're probably not going to get in. Yeah. Do you understand that there's no bathrooms? That is, if there's one thing you have to have, remember, the first thing you do to destroy a civilization is screw up the sewers, screw up flushing toilets. Then you get typhoid and all kinds of. But listen to this, down Fifth Avenue, this blows my mind. People who weren't even there, nowhere near it, who were in front of Trump Tower, just wanted to see his car drive by. Let me say this again. I don't think you heard me. I don't think you heard Uncle Lenny. The whole route down Fifth Avenue, people wanted just to see him drive by, even though they weren't anywhere near, just to see a glimpse of a black car go by. Or SU, whatever the hell it was. I just gave my life. I would love to be my version of it. Ma'am, do you understand? Nobody loves you. Nobody. You're the alternative. They didn't love you when you ran. They didn't love you of your party. They didn't want you. Joe Biden hates your guts. Do you understand that? And it's so weird how you and a bunch of childless cat ladies, all you want to do is talk about ripping the bodies and the forms of human beings from the wombs of the mother. What kind of a demand? But other than that, I would give the most demented interview. I would be on the internet forever. How these people don't do this. People would say, did you see that guy? Who is he? They call him Uncle Lenny. I would love to sit there and say, just look at me. Tell me. And don't give me that fake accent stuff, because I know more accents than you, and I will out-accent you if you want to play that psychotic psychobabble. What is the matter with you? Is this a joke? Is this a joke? You couldn't, they love this man. You don't understand. If, God forbid, he would never do this, but if Donald Trump says, I want everybody right now to leave and go down and storm the Bastille, if we had one. And I want you to go and I want you to run into the Hudson River. Everybody run, dive into the Hudson. You would see 200,000 people crossing 8th Avenue straight across into the Hudson. They will do anything this man wants. And what does Kamala have at her rallies? Is Beyonce, she's not going to sing? Wait a minute, what? I mean, they said she was going to perform. That's it. Or somebody from some union, like that weird, sick girl who screamed at that. By the way, this woman better, I hope she gets protection. I hope nobody hurts her, because I do not like that. But this is, and that's what I warned you today. Be very careful of this, inciting riots, like, get her, no, I don't know. But what was this about? She paid $4,000. They paid her $4,000. All those people you saw yesterday, they didn't get paid a penny. Nobody. I don't think anybody got paid for anything. Period. I just, there is no way that he is not going to win. Just like if I stood on the end of a building with a cannonball, and if I said, when I release this, there is no way it's not going to fall to the ground. It is the law of nature. You don't have this. And it's driving these people crazy. And today they're going to be analyzing everything from the tenor of the crowd. And this and that. And what about this? And the comedian. Do you think he should? Who cares about this? You have drag queens terrorizing children in these John Waters dystopian divine death. Nobody cares about that. You have people desecrating the Holy Eucharist. You have people like Gretchen Whitmer defiling this. You have Satanists and Luciferians and whatever. That doesn't bother them at all. But a comic who, by the way, is through the roof. And let me tell you something. Jokes are off limits. I've never been hurt by a joke. And you know what I hear when I hear a bad joke? My generation, we had National Lampoon. We had we loved it. Now look at this, my friends. We must always allow people to say, we appreciate Mr. Aho who writes blue state, no Trump. And sir, I wish for you that one day you are reacquainted with reality. Well, let me say something right now, my friend. You have every right to believe what you say. And I appreciate the fact that you are kind and you're not being discourteous, and that's fine. There's one thing that we want you to understand. In our world, in the world of Uncle Lenny, we want you to understand that we never, ever discriminate against those people who, for some particular reason, are either spiritually, intellectually, or mentally untethered. And we realize that you're probably a very good person who probably has a mother and a father and siblings, and you're probably a good man. And you are entitled to say such absolute insane things like this. And I understand what you're doing. But understand, you have a friend for life with us, and we love you, and we want to help you, and we want to extend a hand of love and courtesy to you to bring you around, Mark, to bring you around, see the light, to stand before our totemic symbol. And let me provide this tentacular paean, as we all give praise to our candidate, the president who will reign again. I said reign deliberately. Reelected, first time since Grover Cleveland. And I know, Mark, this may be tough for you, but please remember this. We are MAGA. MAGA. We are magnificent. The MAGA Square Garden, the MAGA. We understand this, and this probably bothers you, Mark. This probably bothers you. But let this stand as a reason. In the name of Jesus, this is an exorcism, by the way. Foul, deaf spirits be gone, yea! Even though you do not understand the powers of the redemption, the powers of Trumpian beneficence, we pray for you, Mark, yea! In the spirit of Jesus. In the name of God, in the name of righteousness, in the name of the Constitution, praise, foul, deaf, spirit, devil, be gone, yea. Can you say baby, 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 in the name of Ernest Angley? And by the way, I was personally slain in the spirit by Ernest Angley, Curtis Hickson Hall, Tampa, Florida, 1980. 1980. Because we realize that for years you have been contaminated by the words of Lucifer, Beelzebub, Satan, Mephistopheles. You have been so contaminated, so hurt by the word of these woke, serial sickos, these demented paraphiles, praise God. People who believe that the only thing worthy of their attention is to rip from the womb of their mothers an unborn, perfectly formed human body, namely the human spirit. And we say to you that despite your intellectual deficit, your execrable view of life, we still pray for you, and you will see it. And we promise that when we take over, Mark, your psychiatric confinement that I will order will not be for one moment longer than is necessary to completely re-educate you back to the spirit of reality. And let us now use the sound of the fart zephyr, the winds of change, the breeze of sentience, the gust, the zephyr, the gale, the waft, the beautiful breeze of brilliance of Donald Trump. Praise God. And foul deaf spirit be gone in the name of Trump, in the name of MAGA, in the name of DJT. I say to you, with this fart hand blast to you, sir, let justice rule. Let us again make America again. And I promise you, let me say one thing, you will not be confined in a newly formed mental institution just for you for 1 second longer than it is to change your mind. All right, dear friends. Thank you. Sicilian Boogeyman says, hand farts rule. That's right. Absolutely. That's it, my friends. You think I'm being ridiculous? I really don't care. It doesn't matter to me. I know I'm right. So let me thank you, my friends. To Sicilian Boogeyman, thank you. William Oliveri, Crypto Domini, Raul Rodriguez, Ryan. To Carla, the cookie CEO, happy birthday to you. From all of us in the Conspiratorium, in the Clarity, Streaming Analytics, Bill Simpson, Raul, thank you, thank you, thank you. We will see you tonight. Praise God. At 7, the usual time. Let us remember, take it easy. We're going to win this. And when somebody brings up MAGA, and God, just bring up Woodstock. And please follow the great and the glorious spirit, the message of Mrs. L on YouTube at Lynn's Warriors. Do you want to do something? Lynn's Warriors. The Lynn's Warriors. Lynn's Warriors. Do it now. Because remember one thing. This is about children. It is about the destruction and the elimination that many people have regarding people who are innocent, who need our help. Children, stopping human trafficking, child predation, and fostering digital safety. All right, my friends, we love you. Remember, we're going to win this thing. We're going to win this thing. Take it easy. And until tonight at 7 p.m., remember these words. The monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue ya. Dead.